How are you, ladies and Gentlecars? Welcome back to AHG. Hope you guys have been okay. I noticed it's been over 4 months since I've done a video, and my apologies. I have been busy at work, building 6 guitars this year. The last guitar you guys have seen was Southern Co. So I figured I'd show you the other ones, and we'll plug and play my last favorite of the year. And I will show you also the ones that are for sale. Like I said, I mean, I know we only have 16 people, I think, that follow us. You know, so I hope we be able to gain more coming into the new year. You know, like I said, you know, send me a comment down there if you actually want to see me step-by-step build one of these. I have my phone, but I don't have other equipment to where, you know, I can do nice videos. So we'd have to do it in stages. But I don't know if I can get started after the new year. You know, to buy in bulk, you know, takes about a good 100 to 150 bucks to get started out. At least I'd say, you know, what we built, not including this one, I used different tuners, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that was 5 sets of tuners. It comes in 6 packs from CBG. You have 3 left, 3 right. And then I used a different tuner on this other one that's over here. You guys can see this one, which is going to be the main photo that you guys will see. But the rest of these guys over in this corner over here, I'll keep grabbing them. They're over by the chair. The rest of those are going to be for sale. Well, actually, already one of them sold. But so my buddy Alex from good old PA, Glen Campbell, PA, was tearing down his grandma's log cabin. They just couldn't, you know, afford to redo it and all that. But they finally got down to the basement, and when they did, he found these 2 washboards. And I've been wanting to do a washboard guitar for, you know, 16, 17 years. So I built myself 2 different versions. I haven't built myself a diddly bow yet. You guys have just been seeing me do 3 strings, and so I thought for this first one, let's keep it simple. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. So I did a nice honey stain on this one with a nice poly gloss clear coat, so it's kind of shiny and not so dull. I just went around the edges. I kept the board in the middle. All I did is I just went over it with a nice poly to brighten it up. It's actually the same on both of these. And then I used a nice hickory axe handle and a bolt, because a diddly bow, you want to keep it high, right? So this was made by a buddy of mine, Bert's Blues Boxes. He took a cigar tube and made his own lipstick style single coil. And then I took a 12-gauge shell. It's been fired. 12-gauge shell. Stuck a bolt in the middle of it. And it's pretty good. I made it kind of, you know, like you would be palm muting. It's kind of got that sound. Unfortunately, I didn't get the ground wire soldered up right. And I thought I did, and it fell out. So I haven't been able to get it fixed yet to get it electrified. But we'll get to this, because it's actually pretty bassy. Then you got the bolt. And then also what I did is this tuner is an MGB tuner. But what I did was, for the headstock adornment, because I like doing that if I can and have enough room, this is a replica 1886 dollar is what that is. It's not a real one. And then what I did for the bridge is I used an old spoon. Drill a hole through it there, drill a hole through it so I could get it screwed in. But I don't know, I just was like, I don't know what to use a spoon for, but it's cool. It's a very old spoon. I don't know how old the spoon is. It's probably late 1800s, if not early, at the turn of the early 1900s, most likely. So I wanted to it was in my brain, I wanted to do it. And then what I did is just for fun, because this thing will move around. I can move it back this way, but as I took an old door handle off an old Chevy. It's like something you'd find in an old Nova. And then it didn't come with the handle that would go here. So what I did was I used an old, it's probably about 1905, 1910 fuse that they would use in old houses. Like I said, I put a nice clear coat on that so you could still read what it says. And actually, this one is Columbus Washboard Company, Columbus, Ohio. And it says ideal for silks, hosiery, and lingerie, lingerie, or handkerchiefs. Just the right size to fit in a bucket or pail. So it packs easily in the suitcase or traveling case. But like I said, a nice honey stain. And then what I did is in honor of Alex's grandma, they called her Grams. So I told him the first washboard I was going to do, I was going to name in honor of his grandmother and call it Grams. So what I did was we just called this, I'm trying to do this right so it doesn't flip upside down, called it Grams Washer. Because you don't wash your clothes, you wash your clothes. Okay? You wash your clothes, you go down to the creek, not creek, you go down to the creek and you wash your clothes. And this is how it was done back in the day. So tie in American history. So you got your door handle, you got your spoon, you got your shotgun shell, the dollar up here, and then a hickory axe handle. I didn't stain this. This already came clear coated and ready to go. This one I did it basic. I did this one simple versus the next one I'm going to show you. Basic and simple. But this is a gorgeous, I wish I could take you outside, but it's snowing and cold today. I don't think the lighting in the house will do it justice, but this thing, it was kept well in the basement. This one was well. This one I'm going to show you next was more aged. You can actually kind of see it right here, but I love this one. Like I said, I gotta get it fixed. Let me grab my thumb pick here and my little pick of cases. But this one is actually, it's like I said, it's this one's fun. Like I said, it's going to be even funner once I accidentally fix my big oops and, fix that ground there on the jack. This one is my official muse. This one, I'm keeping both of these. This one is I decided to use a spindle that you would use for your porch, or if you're making your own, custom table in your house, that's what this is used for. Is I decided to take a porch spindle, and this is a nice gun stock stain with a nice poly. You can see that gloss come through the Christmas tree in the background. And then I used a nice CBG blue pick for the headstock. I just think the color just came out perfect. Of course, the tuners aren't perfectly straight. They're kind of at an angle because it's just so narrow. But also what I wanted to do with this, instead of it being just a full slider, is I wanted to do the bottom half. You would say top half, but guitars, this is the top half of a guitar. This is the bottom of a guitar. But for a really low bassy tone, I decided I wanted to make this fretted. So we've got our jumbo for your nut, and then the rest of these are medium. And I'm kind of trying to get used to this thing. I played it a little bit, because this one is way narrower than all the other guitars I built. So it's taken a little bit to get used to, but this one's super fun. We're going to plug it in here in just a little bit here and let you guys hear it. After I got done building this, we're using my Orange amp, or as most people say, Orange or Crush, but they're a British-made amplifier company. It's right down here. I'll flip this around and show you guys. But I love this thing. So the center of this, it was already dark. This was already dark. It was aged because it was closer to the elements more than this first one was. But I want to do a full gun stock. And this one's great. You kind of see the difference between gun stock and honey. Honey's a little lighter, gun stock's way darker. If we were able to do this outside, you could definitely see the difference. Maybe this coming summer we'll get these both out and actually show you outside. But I love this one. And of course, this one is different. You can't see it because it's so dark and it won't show up inside. But right here there's ladies' legs with pulling on lingerie. So I thought to myself, because a ZZ Top was one of my favorites. You guys know that I'm a country and rock guy. Like the likes of Zeppelin and some of the other greats. But I decided, because of this one's got, a leg on it and pulling up pantyhose and all that, I thought I might as well call this one Legs. So I stained it and wood burned it. I said Legs. I got too ahead of myself and actually I stained it, and I was like, crap. I got too excited to get it done. It was right at the end. It was right at the end of last month, so we were getting into the colder months. I was like, I gotta get this done. And so I was like, crap. And after I got stained, I was like, I forgot to wood burn it. So I wood burned over it. But it still doesn't, it's still awesome. Then I put AHG over here, because that's my maker's mark. And then I put the railroad signs, because that's just, I put 2 maker's marks, AHG, and of course, it's just symbolic with me that I use the railroad signs, because I'm so proud of, American heritage, and I'm so proud of my family that worked on the railroad and, helped build it from the 1800s and the 1920s and 1950s and 60s and 70s. So I just feel like kin with it. So, and at one. So basically, I put a back angle on this. I don't know how well you guys can see. Here we go. Yeah, you can see the back angle right there. I had to file a little bit of this off because it is thick. These porch spindles are thick. I got some more upstairs, but they're very thick. Very, very thick. I should have took more off, but I put screws in to hold them down and in place to sound better. This is my last Lucky Lady. These are hard to find now, these steel ones. But that came off my truck. I have the last one on Southern Co., which was what I'm going to show you here. And they were side by side like this. One was right, one was left on the back window of my truck. And since the race truck's for sale, I wanted to have something off of it that I could use. And the Lucky Ladies were it. So somebody's gonna buy that guitar and they'll get a Lucky Lady. But I figured for myself. And then this is a nice parlor style tailpiece from CBG. And then you'll notice this is a dummy 5.56. That was from my great-grandfather's funeral. I kept this thing almost 20 years. When he passed away, he was an awesome World War II vet. He started out flying the Jugs, and then he flew P-51D Mustangs over Europe. So he started out in Italy with P-38, and then he went on to fly P-51s. He was in charge of his own squadron. He was also credited with shooting down an ME-262. He was a great, wonderful man. And then he started his own, he came back from the war and he started his own tractor company, selling tractors and tractor surplus, known as White's Implement, which is still in business today and run by my dad's side of the family to this day. But I saved it. I just didn't know what to do with it. And since I'm building cigar box guitars, I have 2 more. Actually, this isn't the old one. And then it just wasn't high enough, so I had to take an eraser. Brand new eraser, glued this on an eraser, and now it's just the perfect height. Like you can see that subtle back angle. This isn't straight. You can see it right there. And this thing plays like a dream. I'm still getting used to it. And then this is a CBG Wicked Bucker. So as you can see, it's not perfectly straight. I kind of did that on purpose. It was hard to get these riffles. It was hard to get it perfectly straight, but I was like, you know what? If some guy in the backwoods was building this and not thinking about, you know, perfectly in line and straight and da-da-da-da-da, he would just throw it together and not care as long as it worked. So I kind of just ran with that theme. And then to protect my belly and help my belly on the back of this when I play and make it comfortable, I just took one of our old Utah plates. I miss Utah so much. Took one of our plates off our old car, just screwed it on the back of here, and it feels great on the belly when I'm sitting here jamming and playing. But when I first built this thing, I was like, okay, let's test it and plug it in, so I got the strings on, so I had to get it tuned up and then get the string stretched. But I literally took this pick right here. Hold on a second. My buddy Del Puckett. Puckett Cigar Box Guitars. Go check out Del Puckett. Puckett Cigar Box Guitars here on YouTube. Sent me this nice shirt, and he sent me a couple of his picks, which I use these. This is Puckett Cigar Box Guitars. And you can't forget John 3:16. I know it shows up backwards in the camera. But he also sent me this penny. And this penny has a cigar box guitar on it. I took this penny and I went, and I turned the amp up a little too loud, not expecting what was coming out of this thing. And this thing is, holy Moses sandals, I'll tell you what. Whew! This thing packs a wallop. I don't think I can play blues with this thing. It's going to be like a rock slide kind of... It's just its own animal. That's what I love about building all these guitars. And then the other one that I built here, we call this one CSA Railroad. This is a nice dark, I used the rest of my Kona stain on this thing. You can see how dark it is. But this was once a pallet leg. This right here was once a leg of a pallet. And of course we made a nice C shape. Well, it's actually almost a D shape depending on your hands, but if you got small hands, it'll be a D shape. But it's in between a D and a C shape. And this is all from a pallet. And also what I did was I would burn my dot markers and frets into this thing. The only reason the nail is here is because when I built this, I accidentally built, when I cut this, the back angle, I didn't cut it the right way. And I cut it too shallow, so the strings actually sit flush on the wood. So I had to put something to get the strings up to still play and sound good. So I had to put a nail there. And then I wood burned a railroad sign into it. It's just a nice gloss. Marked number 9. The other thing that you really can't see is there's a wood burn inside of here. I don't know how well you can see it. You really can't see it with the lighting in the house. But it says CSA. Because the back is felt. So I couldn't wood burn on the back like the rest of these that you're going to see. And this thing's awesome too. You actually got a real Remington 12 gauge for the volume knob. This is a piezo disc. I'll plug this one in here too. And then an actual railroad spike. There's your saddle. There's your bridge or tailpiece. And then these are cut out hollow. And those are just your drains for like your house. And that one's like a bathtub drain. Perfectly symmetrical. And this one's also fun. This one plays pretty good. Well, yeah, we'll plug this one in for you guys, because what I love about using piezo discs is you hear the wood. Yeah, it must have moved on me. But this one's also fun. Recycled pallet leg turned into a guitar neck. And this one is just acoustic. I enjoyed this one. The last couple, this one and the other one you're going to see, you guys will remember that one from the summer, is it's my last good Woodstock. And this is a nice, I think this one was hickory stain. I don't have the stain anymore. No, it wasn't hickory. It was oak, like an oak and or a walnut stain. But I hand whittled this neck. I hand whittled this guy with my knife. I hand whittled this guy. Even the heel, I hand whittled the heel with my knife, and then I went back with sandpaper and made everything nice and smooth. So this one has more of like a squared, but it feels so right. It feels so good. And then I did a Gibson-inspired scarf joint. I believe this one I did at 15 degrees. I'll have to remeasure it, but a very nice. It looks literally like an old school Gibson. This one's very nice. The only thing I did wrong on this one is I, instead of using a jumbo fret, I accidentally used a medium fret. So the action isn't as high for a slider, even though it has a back angle. At 15 degrees inside of here, this is cut at 15 degrees inside for a back angle instead of perfectly straight. But it sounds so good. I use my banjo pick, my thumb pick. I love this one. Ooh, that's a little out of tune. I haven't played this one in a while since I built it. But this one actually now, this one is going home with my buddy Alex. This one's going to Pennsylvania. To him. So he wants this guy right here. And this one's very nice. It's very short scale. I'll have to change that string before he gets it. This one's just, it's a plain, so it's very dainty. You'll have to put a thicker string on here, make it sound like a baritone or bass. But it's very loud. And then your saddle is this saddle right here. I found it walking the tracks. This is just a drill bit, and they would use it to drill the holes where your spikes go in. So that's what that drill bit's from. It's just very aged and been in the water. It'd be much thicker. So it's very, very old. But I love this one. It's nice, it's subtle. This one was Hillbilly Deluxe. It's before I got my wood burner. But this one's Hillbilly Deluxe. I love it because it's nice. You got that pink can lid, so it does have a banjo-esque sound to it. And then you guys remember the last video I did over 4 months ago. You guys remember good old Southern Co. This is my old race number, 66SR. I put this on everything. Typically, it was like it's supposed to represent gold leaf, but this one's more of a burgundy. But it's got HG in there. It has when I built it. And then Southern Co. is burnt in there. But because I'm proud of my Southern roots and Southern heritage, proud of all my family that fought, and, you know, I love David Allen Co., so that's why it's called Southern Co. That's the Last Lucky Lady. This one's very subtle. This is a CBG Delta Bucker in your volume and tone knob. I just threw my buddy sent me a beer cap, and because I don't drink anymore, but my buddy sent me a beer cap, and then I had a beat up volume or tone knob left, and I threw it on there because it fit with it, and that's another one of the drains. What I did with this thing is I put a spring in it for spring reverb, but I'm kind of not liking the sound, so I might take this one apart and take it out. But you can hear that spring, dong, 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 dong. It's an Avo box. This one was a nice oak stain. This one is a 25-inch scale. Oops. 25-inch scale. This is really fun. It's pentatonic and diatonic. I decided to try my own hand at doing a blues and what you would find, you know, pentatonic, what you would find on like the old dulcimers, like a mountain dulcimer. So this has a really unique, weird sound, and the headstock adornment right there. That's from the 2019 Southern Nationals in Atlanta, Georgia. 39th annual NHRA. So this one is automotive inspired. And then last but not least, CBG had a build competition. This is another porch spindle. This is the first one I did before I got the idea to use up another porch spindle on old legs over here. But they had a competition. Build the wildest electric guitar that you can think of. So I thought to myself, I had a couple of old 45s sitting around. Now I don't have anything to play the old 45s on, but this one was already broken. But I used one of CBG's single coils. And right there, the reason that's so glossy is because I used Mod Podge to put this on to protect it. I didn't want to use any of my glue or any kind of other solvents or something in case it would eat through this old 45, because usually most 45s are made out of Bakelite back in the day. Now they're made out of something totally different. But I decided that I completely ground it down. I completely gave it a back angle. Not perfectly straight. You could see it right there. That's a back angle. And used the porch spindle again. And this one has a nice... this one's honey stain. I just went over it twice to get it a rich, dark color. Sometimes I like my guitars to be light, and sometimes I like them to be dark. It depends. I'm like, well, should it be dark or should it be light? I just eyeball it, and then I go off of what my guts tell me, yay or nay. But I love this one. This thing is super duper loud. Even acoustic. Then I use a red CBG pick for the headstock adornment, because I really don't have other cool stuff to use. This one is named Happy Days. So I actually I signed it, wood burned it with my wood burner. That's my initials right there. And then we burned Happy Days into it. And then the year it was done, what number it is. Yeah, it's an HD 24. And then what was this one? Number 23. That's what this one was. This one's a hoot, man. This one's so bassy, it's not even funny. Here, let's get this other thumb pick going. This one's a full slider. It's been sitting upstairs since earlier this summer, so... Easy. But sadly, with that CBG competition, I didn't even win. I didn't even place. There was other guys who built Maserati guitars, in my opinion, and I didn't think it was going to go that route. I thought it'd be people building stuff like this, but it wound up being fancy. But I still built it for the competition, and this one's a fun one. This would be a fun one for somebody to plug in and let her rip. The saddle on here, that is actually an old railroad spike. It's just very... I dug it out of the ground, and where I dug it out, there was a little creek and a little stream where I found it, where the railroad once was. So this thing's probably, I'd say, maybe 1920s or 1950s, but that just water went over it so many times that it just thinned it out. But that's originally a railroad spike, like the guitar I just showed you. Here, we'll do this. So this is what it's supposed to look like, and this is what it looks like after being aged in the ground and over water. That's a lot of years. So I had fun this year. I just don't know when we're going to get back to building. I just don't have the money right now, and yeah, but the last thing I have, Last thing I have here is CBG has kits where you can build your own amps. This is a tiny little feller. So this is a 9-volt battery. Here you go. There's the bottom. I would burn the railroad sign in just because I could, and I signed it up here just because I can. This would be a nice little travel amp. It has like a little suicide knob on it, so you can make it sound very dirty. So I gotta finish building this thing. This is like the gun stock, where you can see I did a lighter coat of gun stock on it. The heater's about to come on, so it's probably gonna get loud. This heater sounds like a jet plane. But yeah, that's all the guitars in a nutshell. We'll probably plug in for a minute. I know I'm already at 30 minutes, but trying to catch up on, what, 4 months of guitar building? And the last 6 of those? So yeah, we'll plug it in so you can hear this guy before we go. But if I don't get back on here, I want to wish everybody a happy and safe, very Merry Christmas. That's our little tree over there. That thing has a timer on it. So that little feller comes on about 3 o'clock and goes off at 9 o'clock. That's the big tree. The star's not on. When I shut this off, how about we turn the star on just to show you guys, huh? So let's get dark in here for a minute. Then we have garland right here. I have to turn the garland on. And then that one says all roads lead to home. And then that one says Fresh Farm Christmas Trees. It's nice. And then you can see the other tree right up the top of the stairs there. See that tiny little feller? But let's turn the star on. I know it's going to be dark for a minute, but it's light enough outside so you guys can get the full Monty here of good old Christmas time. Because starting next week, while filming this, today is Friday. Let me check the calendar here. Today's Friday the 13th. I'm literally pointing to it right now. Today's Friday the 13th. While filming this. So like I said, I want to wish you guys a very safe and Merry Christmas. But there you go. Look at that. I love that. Especially at nighttime when it's not so light outside. This tree's very bright, and that star is like the brightest thing ever. As it should be. But, yeah. So, and then I got garland here. We got garland here on the TV. You can turn that on when it's darker out. Got garland there. You turn that on. There's garland right here. You turn those on. We also have Christmas lights outside. Actually, here, let me show you. They're not outside. I should say inside the window. Oops. Oh, it's so bright. Right where my finger's at, right here. Where my finger's at. It's so bright. Crap. We have a strand that goes all the way around this window, and then we have another strand upstairs. So those are plugged in at night. But yeah. So the gorgeous. I gotta turn that off though, because if not, the batteries will die. Because I got crap batteries, they don't last long, and so I like to have it on at night instead of during the day. But the tree's very bright. You know, it gives you enough ample light to see what you're doing, but not while we're filming this kind of stuff. But yeah, we're in full swing. Here's our little nutcracker. I wish we could have a big nutcracker, but those are a lot of money, so that'll do. My wife likes nutcrackers, and so do I. We're huge fans of nutcrackers. Then there's all the guitars over there, showing you guys are there in the chair. And then there's good old Graham's washer and legs sitting right next to me over there. So, and there's the orange amp. Let me get over here. That I'm talking about. There it is, right there. There's the orange amp we're going to be using here in just a second. But I wanted to keep the tree on and show you guys, because now I actually have to unplug the tree in order to use this amp. I know we're already at 34 minutes, so I'm sorry guys. I didn't realize that it's been so many months that I haven't done a video with you guys, and I feel bad. I just like to get to working. I like to get my good old Waylon Jennings and Merle Haggard and you know, my good old playlist going there and just jam and concentrate and file and cut wood, and it takes a lot. But like I said, if you guys want to see something cool and see me build one in 2025, guys, bleep bloop it down there in the comment section, and I'll check it out as soon as I possibly can, okay? And cheers to you. I always like to have my Gold Peak Extra Sweet Tea. It's either that or sometimes Pepsi, but Gold Peak Extra Sweet Tea really gets me going. That and my nicotine. There's old man Charger. He's awake now, so he might meow. There he is. Say hi, Charge. That's Dinah. Dinah's asleep in the chair, little baby girl. She's a Siamese. He's a bobtail minx. He got no tail. And I think Mopar's... I don't know where Mopar went. Mopar's the guy that you've seen in the video earlier this summer when I was stringing up strings and did that short little video. He's probably up there in the... There's a cat house. There's a cat house right by that tree. Charger. You're fine, buddy. So, yeah, I'm sorry if that's too loud there. But let me get this rolling so you guys can hear at least legs for a minute. Tree's coming off. Alright. So the amp's right behind, so I hope it picks up the volume nice. I guess we'll find out here in a minute. Alright, watch out, Charge. Watch out, Charge. Dad needs his cord. So no pedals. Pedals are all upstairs. This is just straight up how this guitar sounds with the gain on. For some reason with this amp, you can't play it with the gain turned off. I don't know why. I'll have to look into it. I've always used Fender amps my whole life, so this is something new. My amp went down. My buddy Alex decided he was going to surprise gift me this orange amp because he had another one. So he gifted me this orange amp, and I don't know anything really about him. Oh, did I accidentally turn it down? I probably did, because the volume's all the way up. Watch out, dude. Alright, let's try it again. You gotta have the overdrive and the gain up, and I don't like that, because this Wicked Bucker anyways is... tricky. Watch out, Charge. Okay. There we go. Hope you guys can hear that. Yeah, you gotta have the overdrive and the gain up, or otherwise it won't work. I don't know. It even happened with my telly. I'm like, I don't like that, because that means I can't use my Tube Screamer pedal, because then it just, I don't know, I'll have to dig into this. And we're EBE. You can actually hear it. EBE. And these are Shane Spiel strings. These are the thick wound strings. 42, 32, and I think 24. I don't remember, I'd have to get the packet, but these are very thick strings. But this Wicked Bucker, dude, you need this Wicked Bucker in your life, man. And it's like a piezo on steroids. Oh, sorry, Poop. I woke her up. I'm a bad guy now. I haven't been able to work on songs, so I ain't got nothing to play really, but I've been working on some licks. gotta work on stuff. I don't have much time to play. Like I said, we cranked out 6 this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 this year. Turn the gain all the way down. Here's the peony. Yeah, basically when I plugged this in, I went, but I had the volume way, way too up. I was like, holy crap! I'm about to turn it up for you guys though. But that wall right there, that's between me and my neighbors, so I don't want to piss off my neighbors. Yeah, it's just a shorter neck, so I'm trying to get used to it. Versus all those other guitars are so much easier because it's wider. I haven't been able to write much. One of my old stuff from earlier this year I was working on, as we're down the 2nd fret, right at the octave, and I do an up pick, so it's bum 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 ba da 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 da, and it goes ba da 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 da. I don't know. And then yeah, this one's so funky. I probably need like a copper slide instead of one of these guys. My buddy Alex, his sister or cousin, I can't remember, got into making a slide. So he got me this one, but I don't think it's got the right gloss or tone for this. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. And you can hear the difference between using like a penny and using like a regular pick. And this one, once again, is my good old buddy Dale Puckett. Dale Puckett CBGs. Can't forget John 3:16, man. So like I said, I'm just trying to figure this guy out and work with it. I haven't had much time since when I finished it. It was back in November I finally finished it. But it's very just bassy. It's gonna take a lot more practice to figure this guy out. Let me get this amp shut off here. Like I said, you gotta turn the gain up and the overdrive. Oh, there we go. But yeah, so that's it in a nutshell for you guys. Like I said, if I don't come back on here, I'll try to remember to come back on here to wish y'all a very safe and very Merry Christmas on New Year's Eve, if I remember. But if not, everybody just have a good, a good and safe Christmas with your family. I hope you can enjoy it with your family and loved ones. I hope you can. And not be alone. And to my children, I know you watch my YouTube channel. I love you all very much. You guys keep me going. You guys are awesome, my inspiration. And I love you and I appreciate you. Another thing we need to do by next year, next May, my daughter is getting married on May 4th or May 5th. She hasn't decided yet. But she's getting married. And I want to build her and my son-in-law, well, will be my son-in-law here soon. I want to build them a nice CBG guitar that I can give to them on their wedding day as a gift. I know I want to get that done. There's quite a few other guitars I want to build. But like I said, guys, if you want to see me build one of these, talk about them more or whatever, guys, just please leave me a comment. I want to make this interactive. I want to make this fun. It's about, well, I want to say family friendly, but I can only not cuss for so long, to be honest with you, and get worked up. But, the biggest thing I want to leave to you guys is I know that these time of years when it gets cold, snowing right now, you can't get outside. I love to be outside. I love to be outdoors as much as I possibly can. That's why I hate this time of year. Because I don't want to freeze, and I hate that. I don't want to get bronchitis and pneumonia, and, mental health. So, pick up a guitar. Poor Ellie the elephant. It's actually my baby Dinah over here in the chair. It's one of her favorites. Mental health is one of the biggest things that, people battle, and this time of year is usually, the more serious of them all, because people worrying about money to, for the kids and grandkids and Christmas and all these big stipulations that have been drawn up now. So I want to challenge you to sing. I want to challenge you to write music, play music, get your musical instrument out, whether it be a guitar or a violin or a CBG or whatever. Or, I guess if you aren't into music, then get into automotive or woodworking, whatever your niche is. But always listen to music. Music always picks you up and lifts you up. Always inspires you. It'll help the heart. It'll help mend some wounds. But most importantly, I want to say to you is pray to Yeshua. Pray, man. It is the season of hope. It is the season of faith and miracles. But you got to open up your heart. And, talk to the man upstairs. People say God, but his technical name is Yahweh or Yeshua is his actual real name. But pray, man. There's nothing wrong with praying and having hope and love in your heart and, wishing for the best. That's another, good thing to do. But I'm not here to tell you this is what you need to do, because that's wrong. That's not what it's about. You're not supposed to force somebody to say, hey, love God. It's helped me so much doing that. And also, like I said, picking up a musical instrument, playing a musical instrument, making a musical instrument. And I love these because every one of them I build, I tell a story with. They all have a meaning. They all have a story. Every single one of these that I build have a meaning and a story. Will you guys just say hi to this dickhead so he stops meowing at the top of his lungs and annoying us all? He's just old, man. He's 15, so, he rambles and says nonsense like, but yeah, guys, just do that. It'll lift you up and pick you up so much. And also always get your needs at cbgiddy.com, or see my buddy Michael from MGB, Michael Breedlove from MGB. He sells CBG parts, the only two companies. And make yourself something cool. But, like I said, everybody just try to enjoy the rest of your year, and I'll try to figure out how I can come back and, build more and create more stuff. I also have another channel called American Heritage and Rails here on YouTube. I also do a lot of will be doing a lot more cool stuff. I can only do one more video by the time I started everything. And that was right at the end of October. you know, talking about, you know, railroad history from the 1800s to 1950s, about 1970s range, especially about the Illinois Central Railroad, taking you around to what used to be historic locations where stuff isn't anymore. Just trying to educate people. The other thing about American Heritage and Rails is also just not about railroads. That's why it's called American Heritage and Rails. Is, you know, stuff like this. You know, because these instruments used to be popular before Fender and Gibson. And once the great bandstand came on and bands came on television, that's when all these real instruments took a backseat. And that's why nobody thinks they're cool or whatever. But these guitars, they used to beat out all those companies. You know, with heart and vision, and they were unique and different, and they all sounded different. And history's about the most important thing. I'm sorry, it's hard to focus because he's meowing at the top of his lungs, and I have to deal with that all the time. I don't know what to do for the poor feller. You know, and I also got the fireplace going. Look, I got the fireplace going. It's my fireplace. Keeps me nice and warm. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, anyone? It actually doesn't. It's just the light. But it's nice when the lights are off, so... but, yeah, guys, just let me know, you know, I'm trying to make this interactive, I'm trying to make this fun, but unfortunately, you know, I'm somebody who just doesn't have the capital to, you know, be a fun person all the time, and build cool all the time, because I don't have the money. That's what it boils down to, in all honesty. I'm a broke-ass dude, you know, trying to keep a roof over his head and lights on and food in our bellies and food in the kidders' bellies and my kids that are all grown up in their 20s and college and graduating college and one's gonna be a CSI crime detective. Yeah, so, yeah, life, like all of us, you know, don't have extra money to enjoy myself, so, yeah. I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure something out, but I just want this to be fun. I want people to enjoy themselves. I want to inspire people. I want to amp people up, and create wonderful instruments, guys. Seriously. So you'll see this guy in the main photo. Okay. But yeah, those are some of the guitars that are still left for sale. So technically there's only 1, 2, 3 of them left for sale. I'm sorry, I'm keeping the washboards. If you want me to build you an awesome washboard guitar, and you can find one from the 1800s to the 1920s or 30s that survived in good condition, let me know. And I can build someone an awesome diddly bow. I can build someone an awesome 3-string, 4-string, 6-string. Chugger, let me know. Chugger's 2 strings, by the way. Just let me know, guys. You know, because I want to have some fun, and I enjoy this. It's my happy place. I just enjoy it. And I hope that, like, you know, this can amp somebody up and be like, man, I can do it too. And because it's incredible building your own instrument. And then the moment you're done with it, if you built it right, and you go to strum it, after you tune it, whatever tuning you want, EBE, GDG, GDF, whatever you want, then, dude, sky's the limit. Take it to the limit one more time. But I love you guys so much. Just thank you all so much for letting me support. Everybody have a good rest of your 2024. And let's go out and kick 2025's ass. Make it happen, Captain. Be good, do good, stay true, be you, be real. And just have some fun, guys. And jam out. Spread love, spread hope, spread faith. Spread your funny little selves all over the place. For people to laugh and people to enjoy. Because that, my friends, is what matters. Just be goofy. Just be awesome. Be yous. Yous guys is out there. I love y'all. And to all my Hawaiian friends, mahalo. Just thank you guys so much for loving support. You guys are awesome. Have a good rest of your 2024, guys. Mwah!